It is now mid-September, and I thought I would give you a look at what has survived and what has fried after the week-long heat wave that we had about a week ago. Okay, these guys are looking pretty good. Right now I am in the side yard of my backyard. Okay, this is a coastal rosemary Patio plant. Everything in here is looking pretty good. Aeonium kiwi. I'll try and get out of the sun here. It's difficult. Now this one has fried, but it will be okay, and I'm thinking I will probably move this plant probably in October. Yeah, the leaves got pretty fried, but it's still alive, so that's good news. And I can't remember what this is called, but that could use some attention for sure. Ghost plants are doing great. I'm gonna have to come back and film this so I'm not in the sun. Here, let me give you a look lengthwise. Now this lavender plant, that is going to be moved. I'm going to put it in this corner in about a month. Jade plants are doing great. Okay, now for the jade plants, what my idea along here is to have jade plants all the way in the back, all different kinds, and you can see that I do have different kinds here. It's a variegated one, kind of a miniature one down there. Just pretty much your standard looking one. If I can find the names, I'll put them on the screen, but okay, now these were just cuttings that I threw in here. And you can see I have some plants coming up. These were also cuttings that I just, not cuttings, leaves. Those are leaf propagation. Leaves. Some more there. This is my Euphorbia millii. It's looking really good this year. Last year it wasn't looking that great. I had it up near the fence over here, but it likes this spot much better. And this is a, what is that? Agave Victoria Regina. Okay, so these guys are looking pretty good, with the exception of this fellow here that's been fried a bit. Okay, these could use a little bit of attention. This still needs to be cut back. But so far, everything is looking good. Now this is the corner that I tend to neglect a lot. And I'm going to be redoing this all again this fall. You can see I have that snow cactus there. That was planted as a cutting from my other one in the front yard. And it's doing really well. Leaves, of course, are in here that need to be cleaned out. Now this guy is fried, but it'll survive. I'll probably move that one too. Everything in here, oh, those are, you know, every time I look at them I keep forgetting the name, but I'm going to be pulling those out. Those are dead. They were cuttings from a plant in the front yard. That's my Bayarensis, Kalanchoe Bayarensis. This I just stuck there. If it lives, it lives. If it doesn't. I don't care because I'm not really particularly fond of these type of cactus. Apple cactus, I think? No, I can't remember what it's called. Okay, another wall planter. It's a little sparse looking, but I'll fix that up later. That's elephant food, portulacaria. This is, I'll put the name across the screen. Okay, just your old fern plant. I was gonna throw these out. I had them on the corner of my porch or patio over back in there. And I just didn't really like them there. And so I was gonna throw them out, but then I thought, no, I'll put them over here to see if they survive. And so far, so good. Those are agapanthus. They're staying for now. You can see what a mess it is. These I just threw down on the ground and they rooted. Now this is a type of kalanchoe. And you can see it's right on top of the leaves. I'll get in here and clean that out. Another fern I put down in here. That one's a little fried. We had heat of like 105, 106. And that was for like about 5 days in a row. It was pretty miserable. This guy's doing good. The portulacaria. We call him Steve. Everything's okay in here. I did have one succulent that rotted in the middle, so I had to throw it out, but so far now these guys are all right. Ooh, spider web. Okay, this is what I transplanted, my aeonium, and it is doing well. I did that right before the heat wave hit, and I was a little concerned, but everything turned out fine. And these were all the aloes that I planted here. And I'm thinking of filling this whole area in with more small aloes. And I have a video on when I did this. All right. And I had kept everything covered with umbrellas and shade cloth when we had that bad heat wave, and it did make a difference. I'll show you what I used. Here is the shade cloth, and I just threw it over some plants. Some of them I kind of staked up over them. And then I also have these beach umbrellas that I had put up, and just a regular umbrella that I put over some plants. Okay, back to here. You can see all of the aloes are doing well, and they are not completely closed up except for a few of my newer ones that I had received about a month and a half ago, but they're starting to open up a little bit. And that one over there, and I have one down here. Now this one is opening more. There we go. Then there's the copper spoons. So far so good. Just have a few burnt up plants. Now this aeonium in the corner, I did have it covered up a bit, but it's starting to open up now, and it's looking pretty good. There's the other one. These I'm thinking of pulling out and planting in the front, and I'll show you the front in a bit. Leaves in here need to be picked up. I've been picking these out by hand lately. Ruby trigona's looking happy. Here's another euphorbia. Some ghosties. I can't remember what this one is called, this succulent, but I just love it. I think it's just beautiful. Here is my crested, what are these called? Here it is. If I think of the name, I'll put it across the screen, but it crested, and I was really happy with that. That's my first crested plant that has been grown in my garden. I've bought a few that were already crested, but this is the first time of me growing a plant where that plant has crested. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is one happy guy. Look at all the babies around it. I love it. And that's my Puntia bunny ears. A corn cob cactus there in the middle. Everything's pretty happy. And that was because I kept them covered. And I did not water when we had that horrid heat because the plants are not able to take up the water in that heat. And once it cooled down, then I started to water again. And I would usually water in the evening when the temperatures had gone down so that they could the plants could get a chance to cool down and take up that water. Here now, in this area, I did a lot of pruning, and I'll show you the clippings that I cut from there. But you can see some babies on here. I can't remember what that is. Okay. This is sedum, no, what is that? Jelly bean. And they should be turning red pretty soon. Another aeonium I have in a pot. And then I have two different types of jade in that back pot, variegated and a regular one. And then I just recently planted these aeoniums in here, in this back corner. That's a sunburst. Don't know what the name of that one is, nor that one. And this is Echeveria lily pad that I had in a pot that was getting fried and eaten by something, so I just put it in here to see if they could recover and recoup. Now here you see all these leaves. This is what I do for propagation. I just throw them on the ground, and if they live, they live. And you can see some over there have. This is a, oh, what is this lovely rose? I have a problem with growing these. I usually kill them. This one, we'll just see what happens to it. Everything's looking good. Oh, I wanted to show you. I uncovered my Haworthia that was buried by some succulents, so it's looking pretty good there. And it's gotten really big since I first purchased it. Things are looking good. So far, not too bad. This one is really pretty too. I love that one. And that's my Ming thing right there. That's a Mangave there. It was a baby off of one of my larger ones, and I just stuck it in the ground. Here are some of the propagations down there. And then my little propagation bowl. Okay, I'll take you over to the other side. Okay, this is the corner, and there are pots behind that lavender plant. And one of my viewers suggested, which I thought was a great idea, to plant the lavender in the back and then put the plants forward. So I thought that was an excellent idea. So I will be doing that this fall when we have cooler temperatures. And I did pull a aeonium out of there. In fact, I think it was one of the aeoniums that I just showed you that I had planted up against the wall. And here are the other plants. This I kept covered up with an umbrella. And here are some, I think these are sempervivums, hen and chicks or whatever. That one's a little fried. I'm gonna dig all those up and just put them in a pot. This got a bit fried. That's a peperomia. red ives. Helicopter plant or propeller plant. It had a bloom on here and I cut it off. Now I don't know if these are monocarpic or not, meaning flowers once and then dies, but I did cut the bloom off, so we'll see what happens. Now this you can see has been fried. I bet I already pulled off some really bad fried leaves. In fact, you can just feel the heat. This rock, everything just heats up. This thing had gotten a bit fried. Same here. But overall, everything's surviving. Okay, variegated jade in the pot. That's doing okay. Sticks on fire. My little pot of succulents back here, I just kind of hid it in the shade a bit. This area still needs to be reworked. It's just a mess in here. Doing well. This is a California native. Hesperalo. This is one that I transplanted and divided. And it's doing well here. This, I am going to be moving this shelf, but for now it's staying here. You can see things here are a bit fried. Some scarring on that. That's my mini cholla. Some of these look dead. That one might be dead. I think this one in the back might be dead. That one is dead for sure. And these, this is too hot of an area. That's watch chain for those plants, so I'll move that someplace else. This I had moved in my patio for a while to keep it from frying. That is doing well here. Some more pots that I put behind other larger pots to shade them so they don't completely fry. And I think I have some dead cacti in here. Oh yeah, that's dead. I'll tidy this up later. That one doesn't look so great either. It's a Tephro pine cone cactus. I might take that one out and put it in its own pot. All right. That looks like it's on its way out. Here is a plant that I saved. They were just little sticks, and I've got all this new growth on them. All right. I'll take you to the patio. This has really taken off. Now this one here is the Opuntia Maverick Variegata. And that was just like this piece when I first got it. And then this one is the Opuntia Cochin Lilifera Variegata. And this is getting really long. In fact, I had to put the shell here to prop it up, but you can see how big it's getting. Some other cacti in here. This one looks like it has growth coming out the side. Either that or it's dying. I'm not sure. That one's happy. This is a crested plant that I purchased. That's a Blossfeldiana, Kalanchoe Blossfeldiana there. These are my little mangavis. This fall they are going into the ground. And I'll link the video for this guy. This has really grown since I purchased it. And it's some type of senecio. I'll put the name on the screen. But I think this is a pretty cool looking succulent. This is another Blasfeldiana. This is an aloe firebird. And then my string of pearls, string of dolphins. They're doing great here. My pot up here. Let me see what the name of this guy is. Can't always, whoa! See, one-handed in the camera makes it tricky. This is Silver Dollar Vine. There, I didn't spill too much, that's not bad. Okay, these are all of my, I have a Christmas cactus in here, a Thanksgiving cactus, and a Easter cactus. And these are aeoniums. When I had that, it's just a, what do you call it, perlite. It doesn't have mealybug. When I transplanted that aeonium that was over in the corner, I did have some that got knocked off or I cut off, so I put all the cuttings and just stuck them in this bowl. And then I have a little Blasfeldiana hiding back there. Okay, now here, where I told you I had taken a bunch of cuttings off, I just stuck them here in this bowl. And I put them in dry soil, and I'm going to leave this back here in the, up against the house underneath the eaves in the shade for about a week and a half, and then I'll water them. I want to give them a chance to put out some roots. And then once they get bigger, I'll probably put them back into the ground. Same thing with these succulents back here. They are all cuttings. And here's my little crassula bowl. This needs some attention. Oop. Yeah. Those got fried. I had this on that shelf that was up against the wall of my house. But they will recover, but they definitely got fried. Okay, for the patio. These are cuttings of ghost plants that I need to stick in a pot or dry ground with dry soil. My basil plant, another Haworthia. My fairy castle is doing great. This guy, since I purchased it, has really gotten big. And this is my mousetail cactus. This is some type of sempervivum. That was in the ground. It was looking fried and pretty desperate. And so was this one. So I dug them up and put them in pots of dry soil, and they also will be getting water in about a week. And this one is Echeveria Christian Ryan. And I did have the tag out there. This is also cuttings I put in dry soil. Same with that. Now, I don't know what this stuff is, if it's got a problem. Those darker spots, it could have been just fried from the sun when I had it in a different location. You see that there? Okay, these are more cuttings that I need to get into the ground, but they can sit there for quite a while. They will be okay. Oops, and I forgot about those. They should be okay too. Okay, this is silver spoons. Just like in this pot. This pot is a mess because I pulled out one of the aeoniums in here too to put up against the wall, so I need to redo this pot. And this is a Fred Ives that some animal is chewing on, and I think it's a lizard that's been doing that. And this is a, here, I'll give the name of it. There you go. And I've had this plant for quite a while. Bromeliad, I believe. Okay, this, I do not know the name of it, but it's a cacti. Here's my fishbone cactus. Let me check that. Yeah, that definitely could use some water. The pot is light. Now check this out. This is my monkey tail, and it is in bloom, my very first bloom. So fertilizing definitely helps if you want blooms on your plants. And I've had this for about 2.5 years, and it's the first time I've had a bloom. This guy is going bananas. This is my rat tail. You can see all the babies there. This is a trailing jade. Ooh, I think that could use a little water. It's kind of light. Of course, Ficus benjamina. Now these are some succulents that I just stuck into this pot for now. And this is a senecio. That is going crazy. So everything actually did fairly well during this heat spell that we had. I'll also take you out to the front. So this is going to end up being kind of a long video. Now if you remember, I planted these and they were just teeny tiny little cuttings. You can see how overgrown it's got. So I need to completely redo this. And this one, they were just teeny tiny cuttings that were level with the top of the pot. They need to be redone. This is my goldfish plant, this guy right here. That is doing great. And Euphorbia millii, another trailing jade, and that's my Norfolk pine. Oh, and down here some more Dudleya. And in here, I planted the painted lady, I think that's what it's called. Desert Surprise, Kalanchoe humilius Desert Surprise. I had that in the ground. It was not doing well, so I stuck it here to give it a break. Oop. Cotyledon pendens, that's what that is called, and that's what was in that pot up on my brick wall. Donkey tail. It had some real pretty blooms on here. Another cotyledon. Can't remember what type of jade plant this was. It was attacked by, I don't know, some bugs. I don't know if they were fungus gnats or what. So it used to be beautiful hanging way down. So I cut everything off of it, washed it, and it's starting to come back. Okay. My ghost cactus. This is springtime, crassula springtime, and my bird here. This is a desert rose there. This guy. Another crassula. Look at the new leaves on top of this. So this is really happy. And that's my Aluaudia procera. I might put that in the ground. I have not decided, but you can see the new growth here too, on top. And another ghost cactus. More small jade. That's a small aeonium. Little baby Apuntia there. That's another tephro cactus, the paper one, where it looks like it has paper spines. This guy, you remember when I bought these pots? I purchased those up in Sacramento. Everything here is doing well, and it likes the pots. Now I'm having another brain fart here. But yeah, this guy's healthy too. This guy, it looked like it had mealybugs, so I sprayed it with 70% isopropyl alcohol. So I think these are dead. I'm going to take a little brush and clean it up. But look at all the new growth on top. Pretty cool. All right. That's the thimble cactus. Old man of the Andes. Oh, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about that one. What is that one? Echinopsis oxygona Easter lily cactus. That one looks happy. Another euphorbia. I'll put the name across. Oh, ruby necklace. That's what that is. And here we have cobwebs and some donkey tail. They need attention. Here is my Mexican fence post cactus. Now I had this up against the wall over in that area, but I thought it was getting fried, so I thought I'd move it. And the same thing with this Calistio cactus. I can't remember what type it's called. I moved that one too. I was worried about them getting fried. And then here's my head planter. Put that underneath here to give it a little bit of shade when we had the horrible heat. All right, I'm gonna take you out front. Before we go out front, I forgot to show you this. These are my Aeonium lily pads. And I did have them underneath here when we had that horrible heat, and it did seem to protect them a bit. But I put them back up because our weather forecast is not so horrible. Okay, that, it looks like it has some mealybug maybe? I don't know. Can't remember what this guy's called. It slips my mind. Just a hodgepodge of other stuff. And that is rubber tinctum that desperately needs water. All right, now we're going to the front. Okay, we're going through the back gate out to the front. What you're gonna see now is really pathetic and fried. Here we go. They're dormant, but they will come back. But you don't want to water them when it's really hot and they're dormant like that. Same here. Now this whole area on each side of this walkway, I'm going to be redoing, and I'm going to pull out that juniper too. That is another project for the fall. These guys are pretty happy. This one here, lots of babies. Yeah, it's a mess. This is some sedum, fried, pretty fried, but I'm hopeful they will come back. Okay, now this is my apple. Now this is called an apple cactus. I will put a link up above if you want to see what it looked like when it was flowering. It's a nighttime, flowers at nighttime. Now you can see these have all changed color and have closed up because of the heat. There's my elephant food, Portulacaria. Some weeds in here, but it could be worse. I'll give you a look from far away. Okay, so that's what this area looks like. This guy's getting really big. Sticks on fire. Portulacaria needs to be trimmed. There's some grass growing in here. This just needs some water. You know, it will come to me, the name, probably after I quit the video, but I'll put the name across the screen if I remember. All right, now here is that snow cactus that I took the cuttings out for the backyard, and you'll see a spot in the front where I planted it too. Now you can see how this is pretty dry. And this opuntia has some flowers. My husband just trimmed this juniper tree, but this is pretty fried. I need to break off all of these blooms sticks here. So there's a bit of maintenance that needs to be done once it cools down. It's so bright out. This is Eve's needle here. Here, just pick these off and it'll look a little better. That, ooh, yeah, this poor thing, yeah, it's fried. But it will come back. And it's pretty hot up against the house. Plus, you know, the rock holds on to heat. All right. That is a paddle plant down here that needs to be moved because this thing is taking over, and I am going to be cutting this Opuntia back. Yeah, fried crispy leaves. Yeah, poor thing. This needs to be cut off too, this bloom. I'll get that later. Some aloe, that's a little fried. More paddle plant. Now these are really hardy. I believe it's some type of echeveria, big, thick leaves. And it means it's a really tough plant. Now you can see how fried this poor guy is. Now remember, you don't want to water when they're closed up, or you'll end up killing your cactus and your succulents. That's a weed. Spurge, I think it's called. Put that there. More elephant food. Oh, this is tiger jaws. That blossom needs to come off. Jade plant. Some more aloe. More jade there. This guy variegated. And this fir tree. Okay. Now this is the side of my driveway. Barrel cactus are happy. You do not really need to even water these. This one I just stuck in here the other day. 2 days ago. And that one's been in there for a few months. And there's my, what do they call it? Madagascar palm, Pachypodium lemerii. That I'm going to thin down this fall also, down to practically nothing. Make it really small. It's too wide. I don't like it because it drowns out everything else that's in here. You can see how everything here is fried. This is a Santa Rita Opuntia that one of the pads got knocked off my other plant, so I stuck it here behind this rock to shield it a little bit from the sun. Okay, we've got leaves, fried plants, but they'll come back. I'm not worried. Now this, I don't know what it is. Okay, sharp points. If you know what this plant is, let me know. When I purchased it, it was about this big. This needs to be tidied up in here. And I really like this plant. I love the pale green and the red rims. Now this is Purple Heart, this guy. You can see this needs to be cleaned out. It's thirsty. Okay, I'll take you to a different spot. All right, this is the other side of the driveway. Lots of leaves. This also needs to be cut back. And here's my Euphorbia engines, pretty tall. Lots of leaves in here. Okay, here's that Opuntia Santa Rita. That's where that one pad fell off right there. But you can see some new growth here. And then that is a Euphorbia millii right there. And it's finally looking a little bit better. I may need to move that one, but it's looking a little better than all these guys in the border. Also on the sidewalk. The parkways, I have those planted. These aloes. All right, let's go to the side of the house. Right here in the back, we have a petalanthus. Then I put a jade plant right next to it. This is just a hodgepodge of some aloes. Those agapanthus, I still have plans to rip those out as soon as I get a plant to replace it. This I'm going to cut back and make it smaller. But things in this area have done fairly well. Now this was a cutting from that large cactus that I showed you in the front, the apple cactus. And this did get flowers on it this year, which is pretty cool. Another Puntia, tiger jaws again. I have them set in these pots. Okay, now all this area is new. You can see I have leaves all over it, or newly planted. We had ripped out the shrubs. This is a manzanita. Okay. Another euphorbia down here. Okay, let me show you. And this is a mangave that is blooming out. But I have babies under here, so no big deal. And then ruby necklace hanging out of the pot. But let me give you a full look. We did decide to put mulch down here instead of the rock because it was a little more cost effective for the moment. And I think the mulch actually keeps things a little cooler. The rock is just, kind of makes it like a furnace. Okay, here's another cutting that we had taken from that same cactus. And this guy's looking happy. Now, I was worried that there was something wrong with it because there were some spots here, but I think that's just the normal growth. The other spots that I had that were on here are gone. You know, these red spots. There. Everything in here is new, but a lot of it we had. So this area did not cost us much money because I had these pots in the backyard. I already had these other aloes. The only new plants was this guy right here. And this one over here. And here's my other mangave with the ruby necklace. Sticks on fire. So I'll give you a look down this way. So this is the dry stream bed that we put in here. And we do have our storm pipe, or what do you call it? Drain pipe from the roof. We'll extend it out into here so that this area kind of fills up with water. Okay, now those plants do look kind of sickly, but they are just kind of dormant from all the heat, but they will come back in the fall. Most of these plants that I have in this section go dormant during the heat of the summer, and they'll come back late fall, early winter, all through spring. And I did cut them back a little bit to get rid of some of that dead looking stuff. And I'll show you the ones that I did cut. This one I cut back. We've got some green coming up. I need to get those leaves in here. This guy's pretty happy. That needs to go. That one I cut back. This one also. That's one of my favorite plants right there. It looks like a Dusty Miller, but it is not. This is yarrow, and that's a sage. They'll look better come late fall. So I'll give you a whole look at the whole area. Okay, this is the corner of our yard. And I still need to get more plants in here. This is a Hesperalo. Oh, I hope I didn't step on a plant. Now these I planted about 3 months ago, and they just blend in with the rocks. I think it's called Aloe Black Knight, but we'll see how they look this winter. I made kind of a zigzag line throughout here to weave them in and out of the plants. Now these aloe are looking pretty sickly. That one's doing okay. More plants need to go in here. So that is what the front corner looks like. Oh, over here's a, oh, see, you can see these here. They're so hard to see. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's okay. Thought it had mealybug. That's another Eve's needle right here. It's grown really slowly out here. Probably would like a little more water. Maybe that's the problem. And there's more Hesperalo there. All right, I'll show you what I have on the porch. Snake plant. It's really happy, likes it outside here. Same with this guy. Forget what this is called. That's another, it's kind of like a snake plant. And then I got some fake stuff right there. So that is what's on the porch. And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Check back with me again. It would be great if you could like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.